What's going on, everybody? The first Sunday of the NFL season is here, and we are diving in to all of the game lines available for Sunday. Just the game lines today. Props video will come out tomorrow, but excited to get into this nonetheless. Let's recap what happened Friday night. Chiefs Chargers. Chargers end up pulling off the upset, getting the win there early. And Xavier Worthy gets injured 3 snaps into the game on the offensive side for the Chiefs. So his bet actually voids. If you did it with most reputable sports books, they voided that out due to injury. So that was null and void. And then Pacheco just couldn't get the run game going. Had 5 attempts, only got 25 yards. That did not cash. But we did get the Dicker over 1.5 field goals. So that one did cash. Ended up losing a little bit. Lost 0.17 units on the night. But we maintain 1-1. Not a bad deal. Let's dive into the Sunday slate of games, though. Kicking it off with the Giants and Commanders. This game is going to be one-sided. This is going to be all Commanders all the way. I can't see the Giants, really putting up much of a fight. Honestly, I don't mind if you want to, go spread here, if you want to go bump, but I do not see, the only way I see this going over is if the Commanders score more than 32 points. And the Giants are able to sneak in 2 touchdowns, but I just can't see this going over 46 points. So taking the under in this game. You got Daniels in that Washington team, and that's really all you're relying on for points here. That Giants team, we just don't know how Russell Wilson's going to fit in yet. Don't know how everybody else is going to kind of work in yet, and I just can't see them going from what they were last year to being able to go up against this Washington team and really put up a fight. So taking the under 45.5 here. Moving on to the Bengals and Browns game here. Now on this one, a lot more interesting. But what I am actually taking here is the Bengals minus the points. We got Joe Burrow. We got Jamar Chase. We got T. Higgins. The Browns really aren't known for putting together a really impactful offense. They're going to really rely on their defense here, and I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Bengals. I actually bumped this up to the Bengals minus 7.5, get winning by more than a touchdown. It gives you plus odds. If you want to just take the minus 5.5, that's okay. I would leave it at minus 5.5. If you bump to minus 6.5, it still is at minus 102 odds. So about even. I think an extra point, get that plus money. Granted, I'm well aware what a touchdown, we are talking over a touchdown here. That's the reason for the big plus, but plus 123 for them to win by more than a touchdown. I just think the Bengals come out here and drop 30 on them, and the Browns don't know what to do. I don't foresee this being really that close of a game for the Bengals to really struggle. I think they come out, handle business, and the only way I see this getting close is if the Browns start to make some touchdowns as the Bengals pull their starters out. But in that instance, you're more than a touchdown away. That's what I'm taking here. I've actually moved the spread in favor of the Bengals, minus 7.5 to get that plus odds. Okay. They changed this to plus 100. Now that it's plus 100, I'm going to take that. That just changed. Like I said, it was minus 102 and I just looked 10 minutes ago. But I am going to take the Bengals minus 6.5 because that touchdown threshold is obviously huge. So if you can get minus 6.5 at plus odds, I'm definitely taking that. If not, just take the normal spread at minus 5.5. A little bit more of a safety net there. But I don't hate if you can get plus 120 to go 7.5. But official pick, I am changing to Bengals minus 6.5 at plus odds. Next game, we are kicking over to, I think they're playing at MetLife on this one. Yeah, Steelers at Jets in MetLife. This game could be at under 21.5, and I'm probably taking the under. I just can't see how these offenses do anything. Both of them have very solid defenses. Both of them rely heavily on their defense. Both of their offenses are essentially the offense for the Jets last year, and Aaron Rodgers is now at the Steelers. Granted, they did go out and get DK Metcalf, but the Steelers weren't exactly explosive last year. and they got rid of their number one wide receiver last year. So just I can't see this offense really putting things together. And then we got Justin Fields, who holds the record for the lowest passing yards ever by a quarterback who started all 17 games, which is amazing. And then they have Garrett Wilson. Granted, their backfield's pretty good, Brees Hall and stuff, but they're just not. I can't see them putting together some points. If we little teaser to the parlay picks or the prop picks tomorrow, there's gonna be some field goal prop picks taken in this game. I just going to be a very defensive game. I wouldn't even be surprised if a team ends in single digits. So for one team to score more than 20, or basically both teams to score more than 20, I just don't see that happening. Taking the under 37.5. I would play this to under 35.5. I wouldn't go any lower than that, but it's just, I don't think you could put this line low enough, to be honest. Heading over to Cardinals at New Orleans. This Saints team is just a dumpster fire. You Saints fans are going to be for a rough one this year. I would scratch this team, call it a rebuild year, whatever you want, but I would pick another team to cheer for this year because this is not going to be a good one. I think the Cardinals come out, win by a touchdown pretty easily here. Again, same idea as the Bengals, except even worse. I think the Cardinals offense is very good, and this Saints team ranks bottom 5 in offense and defense. I mean, they're not going to be good. They're not going to put out a formidable opponent against Kyler Murray in the offense there. Plus, year 2 of Kyler and Marvin Harrison, they're looking to put some things together. They're looking to get that chemistry shown on TV. I just can't see this being any sort of game to really even tune into. I'm thinking Cardinals, I would take minus 9.5. I mean, I would think this line keeps going as the day gets closer. Not much to dig into there. Official picks can be Cardinals minus 6.5. Now, this game, Bucks at Falcons, is an interesting one. I'm gonna ride with the Bucks here. I'm taking them, and then I'm actually sliding because if you're at minus 1.5, you might as well bump the extra point, get minus 2.5. Granted, there are games that end within 2 points. I'm not saying there aren't, but field goal differences, touchdown differences, those are really what you're going to look for. Let's say the Bucks score 3 touchdowns, Falcons score 2 touchdowns and a field goal, you're still good there. Let's say the Bucks win by a field goal, everybody else has 2 touchdowns each. Bucks kick a field goal at the end, you're winning there. So I think bumping this up to minus 2.5 in the Bucks' favor, or not in the Bucks' favor, but as picking the Bucks to cover the minus 2.5. I think that's the play here. Granted, I know the Bucks don't have Chris Godwin, but that defense is picking things up. They know what they're doing over there. They definitely started to figure things out at the end of the year. This is a playoff team. I think the Falcons are still trying to figure out, how to work with getting Michael Penix, how to kind of get things going there. You got Bijan obviously working out there, but that offense took a huge hit with that injury and that loss on their line. Is Bijan going to be able to kind of keep that same gap, keep that same motion, knowing that their offensive line took that hit there? So I do just think the Bucks minus 2.5, they win by 3 or more. Pretty easy pick here. That's what we're riding with. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. I have no idea how the Dolphins are dogs in this. They have a healthy Tua, healthy Tyreek, healthy Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, worrying about a little bit of an injury, but just those 3 right there is enough to drop 30 points on anybody. Then we look on the other side, we got Daniel Jones, who has not shown any bit of life to really forbid that he's going to be an opponent here. You have one of the better defenses in the Dolphins. You have one of the worst ranked offenses in the Colts going into this season, the power rankings. I don't understand how the Miami Dolphins are dogs here. Not only am I saying they're going to win, I changed it, flipped the side. I'm taking Miami minus 1.5. Gives you plus odds. If they're going to win, it's probably going to be by more than a point, you'd think. So I flipped that over, minus 1.5 here. I can't see Miami not coming out of this game with a win. Obviously, there are things that can happen. Hopefully, the Colts defense is able to kind of make a play. Maybe that's what they're looking at here, but that Colts offense is not something I am looking to bet into. And we know this Miami team, it's the same team it's been. When everybody's healthy, they are the dream team on the field because they just put up 50 points like it's nothing. Do I think they're going to put up 50 points against the Colts? I don't know, but I do think they're able to pull out a win here against whatever's going on in Indy, not knowing who's going to be a quarterback. They can start Daniel Jones and have Anthony Richardson play in the second half. I mean, they still don't even know what's going on over there for them to be taken as the favorites in this game. Just seems odd to me. I did, like I said, move the line in Miami to take -1.5 plus odds. I just don't see them losing this game, and I might as well have them win by 2 points. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. Now, I know everybody's looking at Drake May, hopefully coming out and being in a formidable offense here, able to put some points together. But between these two teams, I just can't see both of them scoring over 20. Can't see one scoring 30 and the other one, getting 2 touchdowns. I just don't see how they can get to 45 points in this game. I am taking the under 44.5. I do think you cap it at the 44.5. If it gets under, -120, I probably stop taking it. But under 44.5 for this game for two offenses that just don't look like they're going to be able to kind of put things together. Raiders and the Patriots both have had pretty good defenses in the past couple of years. So I don't foresee them giving up a ton of points against subpar defenses, bottom 10 offenses in this game going into the season. So I just don't foresee either way them getting up to 45 points. Hopefully they start to turn things around. Maybe the Patriots start to figure things out. The Raiders going out and getting Geno Smith to hopefully get Jacoby Myers some throws. I don't know. I don't feel like there's going to be enough points scored in this game to get to 45. All right. We are moving into the 4 o'clock games, 4:30 games Eastern time. You'll notice I skipped over the last 1 o'clock game, Panthers Jaguars. There's nothing in that game that I want to bet. I don't know how those two are going to play out. I think the lines are pretty good. Neither team is really getting too much of a favorite. If you want to lean something, I mean, Jags money line feels safe, but it is juice. So if you want to take Jags to cover the spread, I wouldn't hate it, but I'm not picking anything in that game as an official prop. I think that line's pretty sharp, and I don't foresee, I don't feel too confident going either way. I don't like the under either because they both have the opportunity to score the points. But I don't like the over either because they also have, offenses that aren't exactly figured out. So I don't feel good about that game. We're just going to avoid it altogether. Moving on to the Titans and Broncos. I think giving the Titans 8.5 points against these Broncos is pretty big. If you want to bump it up to plus 9.5 for the Titans, it's -124. I don't hate that, but I think just keeping it at the normal spread of plus 8.5 for the Titans here. I could see the Broncos coming out of this with a solid win, but 4 points, maybe a touchdown to score, but to be winning by more than 2 scores on this, I don't really foresee that happening. So give me the Titans plus 8.5. Next, we got the Niners at the Seahawks. I just don't understand how we're looking at what the 49ers were last year without Christian McCaffrey, still a playoff contender. Now they have Christian McCaffrey hopefully back. There are rumors that he is injured. He did an interview Thursday or Friday that I think it was. I think he did an interview Friday. Said he's fine. He just took a rest day. He said he's good to go. People are blowing it way out of proportion. If that's the case, he's good to go. This 49ers team looks completely different when he's on the field. -1.5, you can get here early, hoping that CMC is still good to go. Even if he's not, I could see the 49ers defense locking down the Seahawks here. And then the offense, Purdy's going to do his thing, have 1 or 2 mistakes a game that he always does, but I think they can go to Kittle a lot. They're going to be able to run a lot. I think that they're going to be just fine. -1.5. I don't hate this up to -2.5, but the odds difference isn't substantial to take that extra point. Up to you. I mean, obviously, it is getting there. I will lay off it at -3.5. Granted, it does give you a huge plus odds, but I could see, tie game, getting a field goal late if Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. If Christian McCaffrey does play, it's ruled official that he is playing. I mean, I'd like this up to a touchdown. I mean, so if you want to sprinkle a little bit on that just in case he plays, but safe bet, official prop, -1.5. We're taking the spread for the Niners. Lions at Green Bay. Granted, this is always a rivalry. This is always played tough. This is always a great game. But we're really having the 15-2 Detroit Lions. I didn't forget what they 14-3 Detroit Lions. I didn't really lose anybody last year. If anything, they bolstered their offense. They bolstered their defense. We're having them as dogs to the Jordan Love Green Bay Packers. Don't get me wrong. I believe the Packers are going to be great this year. But I don't think they're knocking off the Detroit Lions in game one. I don't understand how the Detroit Lions, who were 14-3 last year, are dogs to the Green Bay Packers who scraped into the playoffs. I just don't foresee, anything that's changed greatly. Granted, I think Green Bay has certainly won in the offseason, but that's because Detroit's, they could only do so much to get better. They were already a very, very formidable team. For them to be dogs here against Green Bay is just insane to me. I'm taking them just straight up money line. Don't want the points, don't want to do anything like that. I think they're going to come out of this with a win. I don't foresee the Packers being able to not only weather the storm of Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, but also I don't see the Packers having their offense be able to take away and put down that Detroit defense. They're ranked one of the top defenses in the league in the top half, so I just don't see that the Green Bay offense is that superior that they're really going to go out there and win against this team. Taking the Lions straight up. If you do want to go, if you do want to flip it at a little bit more plus odds to go 2 points, even more to go 3, that's up to you. But official pick, I'm just taking money line Lions. The Texans at LA Rams, that is, not the Chargers. Forgot there was 2 LA teams. The Rams still have Puka Nacua, still got Matt Stafford, who's going to throw 40 times a game. Neither one of these defenses are exactly superior defenses. I think, if anything, we're going to see a high-scoring game. I think the Rams do end up taking it in the end, but I don't love the spread. I could see Texans definitely being a team. I almost wanted to go Texans money line just because of the juice on it, but I am going to take the over here. I think both of these teams could easily put up 20 points. That gets you, if both teams put up 20 points, somebody kicks a field goal, we're looking good there. So I think the over 43.5, I think 44 points is definitely achievable in this game. Both offenses, I think, are going to be coming out swinging. I don't think the run game is going to be really all that present in both teams. So it's going to be a shootout between the two quarterbacks, and those always end up being, high-scoring games just because they're able to get down the field a lot quicker, or they're giving it up back to the other team a lot quicker. So taking the over 43.5 here for the Texans Rams. And lastly, we have your Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills, Sunday night, prime time. And honestly, I don't know if you can put this line at a high enough number. I think these two teams are going to come out here and drop 60 points. If I'm being honest, I would take this total over 51, over 52, over 53, over 54. I would take it all the way up to over 56.5, if we're being honest. I think these guys, two of the top offenses in the game, this is going to be an absolute slaughter of a game. Going to come a complete shootout. Both have explosive offenses potential. Both have consistent movement in their quarterbacks. They're able to extend plays, able to get downfield. MVP 1 and 2 in the last 2 years, MVP 1 and 2 candidates this year. I mean, this is going to be a insane game to watch. Love the over here, and I honestly don't hate Buffalo Bills money line with the juice, with the plus odds. I mean, it's tough to say. It's tough to say who's going to come out here and win, but I think it's so close that if you're giving me plus odds on one of the two teams, I'm taking plus odds. But official pick over 50.5. I think both of these teams could touch 30 in this game. I think we're going to see a true shootout here. If you aren't so sure about the over, definitely can go money line on the Bills here because there is plus odds. I think this is a coin flip game. And if you're giving me plus odds on a team, I'm going to take the plus odds on the coin flip. That's kind of all that really amounts to. I don't know who's going to win. I'm not going to say I'm going to favor the Bills over the Ravens. Being from New York, obviously I'd like the Bills to win, but I think if you're giving plus odds on a coin flip game, I'm taking plus odds on a coin flip game if you don't love the over here. But official pick over 51.5. Honestly, if you want to do like a little ladder, you just kind of bump this up. 52.5, you take the plus. 54.5, take the plus. 56.5, take the plus. Kind of up to you, but yeah, as far as game line props, that's what we're looking at. We got 12 picks. Let's run right back through them. We got the under 45.5 Giants, Commanders, under 37.5 Steelers, Jets, Cardinals to cover -6.5, Bucks to cover -2.5, Dolphins cover -1.5. You don't love the points there, take money line, but I don't see a way the Colts are beating the Dolphins in this game. Under 44.5 for Raiders, Patriots, plus 8.5 Titans, Broncos. I think that just gives too much juice to the Titans. 49ers, -1.5 to cover there. Lions, money line straight up. Over 50.5 for the Bills, Ravens. Bengals, -6.5 if you can get plus odds there, or you're pretty close to even. And then we got the Texans, Rams, over 43.5. That's going to lock it up there. Putting one unit on each of these, and we'll see how we're doing Monday.